You're the only person in the whole of the United Kingdom watching this that isn't following this story.
Blake, before we get started today, thank you everyone who had pointed out that we had this weird high-pitched sound in about 3 or 4 of our videos this week. Apparently it has something to do with the microphone grounding. We think it's all fixed, but thank you for pointing it out and giving us tips on how to fix it.
That's awesome. Like, who are you guys?
Yes, very, very, very nice of them. Now, Blake, in other big news, we have been going through 12 mystery videos over the last 12 days. We have one number left. What number are you going to pick?
12.
You've already done 12, Blake. You've already done 12.
9 is the last one.
It is the last one. Number 9. So, number 9, I'm very excited to do because it is our second This Is My clip that we're doing this week.
Yes. Give me more This Is My.
So today we have This Is My Amy, and we have David Mitchell's team. We have Joe Lycett on the team.
I know that. Yeah, okay. We haven't seen him in ages.
It's been a while since we've seen Joe. And we have, someone you may not know, Nish Kumar.
No. I'm pretty bad with names until I see faces, though.
Yeah, you may have seen him before. He has this very good routine about being the drummer from Coldplay is the best job in the world. I'll send it to you. It's very, very funny. Anyway, you'll like Nish Kumar because he has a great sense of humor and he laughs at everything, and it's a very addictive laugh. It's contagious. It's a contagious laugh.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get into this video.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Amy. So, Joe, what is Amy to you?
This is my friend Amy, and I grossly offended her when I made a less than perfect sculpture of her head.
Nish, how do you know Amy?
This is my friend Amy. We became friends after I found her asleep in a box of volleyballs.
Finally, David, what is your relationship with Amy?
This is Amy. She is the charity shop worker who sold my shoes whilst I was otherwise engaged trying on a pair of cowboy boots.
It's definitely going to be Joe.
Where do you want
it's
to
going to
start?
be Joe.
Nish, remind us again, Nish?
I found her in a box of volleyballs.
First of all, where were you where there was a box of volleyballs?
I was working at a leisure centre just after I left school. And Amy was also working there over the summer between school and uni. Right. And they sent me to check on the volleyballs.
Just check on the volleyball? That's a good job from you, bro. Make sure the volleyballs aren't messing around. Has your manager recently been watching Toy Story?
I believe the technical term was conduct inventory. So I was just trying to make
count
sure.
them.
Yeah, you're supposed to count them. And it turned out that what she was doing was because no one really wanted to play volleyball, she'd found the perfect spot to have a mid-work sleep in.
How big was this box?
It was like woman size.
Could she stretch? Woman size?
Yes.
You've heard of a volleyball coffin? They transport volleyballs. Yeah. So you opened it up and you saw
a sleeping woman
amongst all these volleyballs. How many were there?
I think probably 35.
You see, you've just said to me that this box was woman-sized. Now, the largest woman I've ever seen is still smaller than 35 volleyballs. I've used this as a chat-up line. If a woman says, I feel a bit fat in this, I'll always go, don't be silly, less than 35 volleyballs for me. So did you wake her up?
Yes. And so we became friends because then I would also often have a nap
In the volleyballs?
In the volleyballs.
What was her job What was she supposed to be doing at the time?
Perhaps she was sent to count the volleyballs earlier. Didn't become bored by the monotony of the process. The boss I keep sending people to count the volleyballs and they never come back.
Working at the leisure centre, Nish, what else did your job demand of you?
Basically, all-round dog's body, so I would work on the front desk sometimes.
I thought you said all-round ball games.
So everything except rugby.
Bowls, David.
What?
They're not totally spherical in bowls. That's
Are
why
they not?
That's why they
I would say, colloquially, they're still round, though.
Oh, hello. It's all kicking off at Bridge Club.
All right, who else would you like to quiz?
OK, Joe, what situation were you in where you were sculpting her head?
I have an office in Birmingham where I live.
That'll do. So, yeah, I totally believe it. I mean, that makes it... You can answer any question you like, I don't mind. You have an office in Birmingham?
Yeah.
But
Right.
why? Why?
Just to write jokes and be creative in.
So, you went to this office to write jokes
Yeah.
and said to your friend, would you like to come along, sit in the corner and I'll sculpt your head?
I've been looking for a use for all that clay I keep in my office.
Had you just been watching a Lionel Richie video? Hello? So, did you know how to do this?
No. But yeah, I thought practice makes perfect, so I called Amy and...
How long did you spend doing it?
Maybe an hour or so.
Weren't you tempted to just make it really soft, get her face, push it into it, then do the back of her head, and then go, well, at least I've got a mould.
You said she was offended by this sculpture.
Yes, she was
What
offended.
did you end up with?
It didn't look like her.
What did it look like?
It looked more like Ainsley Harriott.
OK. Now, what about David? I'm looking forward to this. What was it you claimed, David?
That Amy is the charity shop worker.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
Who sold my shoes
Yes.
whilst I was otherwise engaged trying on a pair of cowboy boots.
Can you talk us through the incident, please?
Well, I was in the charity shop.
Which charity shop?
It was a Marie Curie charity shop near where I live.
OK. So I'm setting the scene before this. You're at home, you're thinking, it's about time I got myself some cowboy boots. I need to commit to a new pair in case I go off the idea.
Just on the very slightest off chance
Yeah.
that they don't turn out to suit me and my personality.
Cowboy boots, I'll be honest with you, don't particularly appeal to me aesthetically.
Wow. That
I
surprises
don't think
me.
they go with what I like to call my style.
Well, how would you describe that style, David?
I think my style is indescribable.
Oh, no, I could describe it.
I think it's best left undescribed.
OK.
I wasn't sitting at home plotting the purchase of some cowboy boots.
No.
I was pottering around near my house, and I saw the Marie Curie shop, and I saw in the window what looked like a nice selection of second-hand novels.
Right.
And I went in, and it wasn't a nice selection of second-hand novels. It was all Ken Follett crap. But I did notice the array of shoes, and I tend to take my shoes off at home and maybe wear slippers or socks. I don't want this to get too sexy. and so...
I need my inhaler.
So what I vaguely was on the lookout for was a pair of everyday, easy-to-put-on, non-lacing shoes that I could keep by the back door in case I needed to pop into the garden for some gardening.
But you said you'd taken some of your shoes to the charity shop.
I was wearing shoes.
What, you decided take them off in the shop and hand them to her?
When you go shoe shopping, you go barefoot. Take you seriously.
No. When I take shoes,
keep me waiting.
when I take shoes to the shoe rider shop, I choose shoes that I no longer want. I don't wander around and then go, well, do you know what? You can have these if you want. Why would you do that? You take them ready to give.
I wasn't. It was not my plan.
Can I just say, Rob, you're the only person in the whole of the United Kingdom watching this that isn't following this story.
Well, he said he took off his shoes.
Why do you think he took the shoes off?
Try the other one.
Try the cowboy shoes on.
Oh. Well, David, I owe you an apology. There you are in the shop.
Yeah. I'm in the shop and I spot these cowboy boots, and to me, they look sort of quite loose and easy to slip on.
What length? Not width, length.
I'd say that long.
About that, so they're coming up to just below the knee?
They're not, you know...
How tall are you, Rob? They're not below...
For me, they'd be thigh length.
Can't see over these.
I would say they're, for a cowboy, they're shortish. But
Leather or suede?
But they're not ankle boots.
Leather or suede?
Leather. And with a sort of bit of, geez, I don't know the technical shoe terms, but sort of like a bit of crenellation sort of flapping on them. I'm just going to have to use the terminology of the medieval castle. It's the only way I have of describing it. Anyway, they look like...
So you saw them? You saw them?
Yeah, I saw them.
OK.
So I thought, you know, I'll try them on.
Yeah.
But they were slightly harder to get on than I imagined.
People in the shop, I imagine, were going, why is David Mitchell trying on cowboy boots?
The shop wasn't as packed as you're imagining. I thought myself to be the only customer there.
Right.
I was soon disabused of that notion.
When did you notice that your own shoes had been sold?
I think, well, I remember I walked to the back of the shop in the cowboy boots, restraining an urge to walk like John Wayne. And when I came back towards the shoe area, I noticed that my shoes weren't there.
And did you see who'd bought them?
I didn't, no.
I'm picturing a scene where you walk out the shop and you walk home, and then a few minutes later, a cowboy goes up to the counter and says, "Excuse me, I was just trying on a pair of..." And then behind him a clown, and then a sailor. And this just goes on all day, round and round.
Yeah. David, I don't know you. I've just got to know you today, and I admire you very much. But what I know of you from watching you on TV, the cowboy boots, it's just... I can't buy it. I can't imagine you'd even try them on.
Well, in which case, then you should say that I'm lying.
I might do.
So, we need an answer. Lee's team.
This has to be one of the weirdest but funniest episodes of This Is Why I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's definitely up there with the weirdest. I can't believe Rob wasn't following that story. That was amazing. It's just such a weird thing for him not to be able to grasp.
He was so passionate about it too. Like, he was so in the right.
And then he doubled down at the end as well, and he just wanted to know more and more to try and get him to slip up.
Yeah.
Great story. Definitely the best story of the three, without a doubt. Definitely not true, though.
No. I don't even remember the girl's story, though.
There was no girl story.
Oh, no. Okay, so on. Recap.
So there was Joe, there was Nish, and then there was David's story. Joe's story, just from hearing it, I said straight away, I'm like, this is definitely Joe's story, just from hearing the tags of what they were going to be. And then when we actually heard them in details, Joe, I completely believe that story. Like, I think he's probably going to just do a weird artist kind of sculpture of her, and it not going to turn out well because it's most likely not going to turn out well. So I believe that. Nish, I don't believe for a second.
No.
Going and sleeping in a netball coffin or whatever it may be. He may have worked at a leisure centre back in the day, but I'm not believing that story at all, that's what happened.
Yeah, okay, so no, look, it's definitely the least believable out of all of these stories, but just to add more to that, like, I remember taking a whole bag of volleyballs, you know, from like PE to the next room or whatever it was back in the day. But one of the things that we always used to do is have the whole bag of balls behind you and just stack it and just fall backwards.
Oh, nice.
And it actually was quite fun. And like, if you just chilled on them, you could just sit like on a bag of balls so that they're staying together. So, like, I would, you know, we used to go and put it in a massive cardboard box. That was just where we kept the volleyballs.
Yeah. But if you're doing an inventory of 35-ish balls, like, you can't go away long enough to be taking a nap.
No.
No. Have you ever taken a nap at work before?
Only when you and I worked together at that job.
Okay, just a brief one then.
I think I was hungover and I just slept in the back room.
Yeah.
Our boss at the time would have totally let me get away with that. So, thank you.
Yeah. Well, this is an easy Joe story, I think, is the true one for me.
Yeah. I agree. 100% it's Joe's story.
All right, let's get the results.
Is Amy Joe's miffed model, Nish's sleepy sidekick, or David's sneaky shoe seller?
I'm more inclined to believe Nish myself.
You believe Nish?
Yeah.
Because?
Because, I don't know, I just think Amy and Nish look like they could be really good mates.
Miles, you think?
Well, I was looking at her very closely while Joe was talking about sculpting her. She looked quite icy about the whole thing. And, of course, she was very offended in the story. But during David's story, she looked, I mean, understandably baffled.
I think it might be Joe, actually. What do you think?
Well, I'm beginning to think. I mean, it doesn't even matter what I think. I mean, I mean, my job really is to agree with you, Lee. I mean, you are a man...
Are we trying to reenact Dad's army here?
Do you think that's wise, sir? I think... I think Nish is telling the truth.
You think Nish is telling the truth?
Wow.
You think Nish is telling the truth?
Yeah.
Right, in that case, I'll go with what my team say.
You're saying it's Nish?
No, I'm overruling.
Go, Joe.
I'm going with Joe.
Yes.
Are you seriously?
I feel it's Joe.
All right. Amy, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Amy and I'm Joe's friend.
Well played, Lee. Well played. Here we go.
This is the sculpture that Joe Lycett... Oh, good Lord. This is the sculpture... Get ready for this. You will never, in your lifetime, witness a worse sculpture than this.
Wow. Wow.
Poor woman. Yes, Amy is Joe's miffed model. Thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you.
What's the point of even having a model when that's your ability?
Yeah.
Like, just mess around. Like, just model something off of a photo or something. You don't need someone there if that's the anticipated result.
Absolutely.
It was closer to an, you know, those big Easter Island statue heads.
Yes.
It looked like that.
Yeah, I was going to say at best it looked like Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. He said it looks like Ainsley Harriott. I think that's Ainsley the cook, and I would agree with that as well. But either way, it doesn't look like her.
Nope. Oh man, what a great story.
Yeah. I could watch Miles Jupp just laughing for hours. Yeah. It's so funny how much he loved David's story. That to me was the best part. The Rob being so misled was hilarious, but Miles losing his mind, I could watch. It's a joy to me.
Yeah. Well, actually, I loved both of them. But guys at home, that's actually something that we'd love to know in the comments section. Which part of this video was your favorite? Let us know. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and get notified for more.
And guys, if you want to see some more Would I Lie to You reactions, by all means, hit that playlist just up there. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one.
Bye, guys.